talking about use of camera 3, our Jib camera. When you first come into the lab studio, you're going to need to give power to it. It's going to be in another location. You'll need to move it to its position for the day and give it some power. So you'll notice that it will look like this. You just need to find the bright orange extension cord and connect it in. Once it's plugged in, you just need to flip the switch on the power strip and give the pan and tilt head some power. The other thing you're going to want to do is go to the other end of the arm and turn on the camera. Have one student gently lower the arm from the other end. You don't want to be grabbing here or grabbing here or grabbing. So somebody from the other end should lower it. For today, since I'm here by myself, I'm just going to pull it down gently on top of the lens cup. And what you do is you push open the screen so you can see if it comes on. And on the right hand side is an on-off switch with a red button. You just push it in a little bit and flip it up to on. At that point you will see the camera come on. Somebody's at the other end. You can walk away. And now we'll go over operation. So movement of the whole camera unit is just like the other studio cameras in terms of truck and dolly and using these tripods. Here is where you would, again, unlock and lock it. Right now it's unlocked because I just moved it, but once I have it in my stationary position, I want to make sure to lock it down. When you do trucks and dollies in here, you should always have a spotter. The spotter serves two purposes. One, to actually help move the unit around, but also to make sure the jib arm is not hitting any lights or hitting anything else. Also to make sure the dolly itself is not running over any other camera cables. So you always want to have two people anytime you move this unit from point A to point B. So the next movement we're going to talk about is moving the arm actually up and down and left to right. So if we want to move it up and down, we simply use counterbalance to move it to boom up and to boom down. So booming up and down. We also can tongue it left and right just by simply, smoothly, fluidly, and gently moving the arm left and right and up and down. So we've now gone over truck, dolly, boom, and tongue. We now can add some other movements into the mix. The next one I want to talk about is zoom. Right here is our zoom, and that will simply do your zoom in and your zoom out. Once you zoom in and zoom out, in the other cameras we've been doing what's called calibrating the zoom lens, and then we pull our focus. However, with this unit, the focus is actually automatic, so you will need to wait for the lens to adjust. There's not a separate focus for you to have to worry about. So the final movement we're going to talk about is the pan and the tilt. And this joystick here is what moves the pan head and tilt head up and down and left and right. So you simply use this joystick to move it up and down and left and right. Now please be very gentle. This is a very expensive, very finicky piece of equipment that when pushed too hard or jerked around too much will need to be repaired. It takes several weeks to be repaired. It also takes several weeks to come back. So be very gentle when using this joystick, just as you would with actually moving the jib arm up and down and left and right. One thing I want to mention are these knobs here. These are for controlling speed and direction. If you feel that there needs to be more tension or less tension on the pan and tilt, please contact me. I really do not want anyone to be working with these knobs. Simply work with the joystick. So to review, there's several different movements you can do with the jib camera. You can use the truck, the dolly, the boom, the tongue, the zoom, and the pan and the tilt. So you have a lot of different options you can use and create very different types of shots, especially for the openings, the closings of our show, getting kind of extreme or funky angles for close-ups, things like that. When you're done for the day, it's kind of a reverse of what we did in the beginning. You want to make sure you have a spotter to move camera 3 back to its original position, which means you need to unlock, move the unit, lock it back into place, while you're moving it, making sure that you're not hitting anything or running over any cables. That's why you have a spotter. And then finally, you want to make sure with the pan tilt head that you have the camera level. Okay, you do not want the camera tilted up or tilted down. You want to make sure it's level. And then at that point, once all those things are done, the camera's locked in place and the camera itself is level on the head, then you should power it down, the reverse of what you did before, and wrap the cable, and it'll be ready for the next student use. Thanks.